Hello and welcome to my vlog number 81. For my backdrop this time I'm using my fallback summer garden scene. Can't wait to be able to vlog out there again. My shifts over the last few weeks have been late, later and nights, meaning I'm not seeing enough daylight. This has made me feel really down. This is not unusual and I'm feeling a bit better since having a few days off, but it takes a while to recover from night shifts, which is why I tend to avoid them. The work is easy, but the hours are depressing. And to be honest, I still don't feel right. I'll get over it, I'm okay. But yeah, now a few little bits of opinion. Recently in the news, we had a Cybertruck apparently catch fire outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Now, I'm no fan of the Cybertruck, as many of you already know. But it was being posted by anti-EV types showing how dangerous this type of vehicle is. I held judgment. And looking at after photos, it seemed the main chassis was still relatively unburned, leading my deduction that the batteries did not actually catch fire. It was just fireworks. Now I'll accept that lithium-ion battery fires are hard to extinguish, but there's still a tiny minority compared to liquid fuel fires, and safety keeps getting better. Don't want one? Fine, don't get one. Petrol and diesel cars aren't going away just yet, despite government timescales against them, which have already been broken. It'll be a long, drawn-out conversion that'll take decades. Stop panicking. Don't worry. If somebody wants an EV, they'll get one. If somebody doesn't want an EV, nobody's going to force you. Now on to Starship. From the first launch, I had my doubts. They've actually succeeded my expectations since then, but the latest test shows just how big a task it'll be to get this to be a viable, reusable launch platform, let alone a transport of the Moon and Mars. How many successive launches will be needed to get to either? It takes, 10 to 15 refueling launches just to get a single trip to Mars or the Moon? Yeah, okay. The launch capacity keeps getting lower with every iteration, and I wonder just how much it'll finally be able to lift. Even the engines aren't really being reused, though that may change, as only one has been reused to date, and that was recovered from a water landing. Launches are quite frequent, but progress seems rather slow. I mean, by Apollo 8 they were going around the moon. This was in the 1960s. I know it's a bit different now, but yeah, and the whole political climate is different, but really it's slow. And I hope it succeeds. But to be honest, I'm not holding out much hope. This does not take anything away from SpaceX's achievements to date. The Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy are tremendously reusable launch systems, and it's always a pleasure to watch a launch and landing, but is the Starship a step too far? I hope not. Time will tell. Now, I had written a piece on the TikTok ban in the US here, but that's turning into a circus. So I'll just say I hope it doesn't turn into a government-influenced propaganda platform and leave it there. For now. Anyway. New Year's Day brought another session of those awful messy confetti cannons that usually take months to clear away from the front garden. Thankfully, it was so windy it was all blown away, leaving nothing to clear up. And don't worry about the mess around either. This type is actually biodegradable, and there is no longer any trace of them in the neighbourhood. So thank dog that wasn't an issue this year. I hate those bloody things, and they keep getting them every year. Oh no, my computer's been acting up. The mouse had stopped working, and the only way to recover was to reboot. I couldn't figure out what was causing it, but it didn't feel like a hardware issue. So I decided to tail the system log, which basically brings it up on screen and keeps showing it on screen as it's being generated, so I could see the log in real time. I was getting ready to set off with an early front trigger on the Norwich Amiga Group Graham Switch channel, and it all went funny. Exactly 2300. On the log I noticed a failed timeshift entry triggered by a cron job. Now timeshift being a system backup tool, cron being a scheduling tool. On further investigation, I found that the partition it was using for backups no longer existed. This was entirely my fault, as I changed the drive during an upgrade a while back and forgot to reset the backup partition at the time. I corrected this oversight, and I've had no more issues. And what a strange issue it was. It doesn't even seem related, but no issues since, so the mind boggles. No idea what was causing that. I can't see how it was even related. Okay, January 5th, we took down the Christmas decorations. Glad to get that done, but it was a stressful day. As always is in these cases. I checked my blood pressure after it was all done, and it was 121/83 with a pulse of 98. Now, the pulse was high, but low blood pressure, that was good for me. I was happy to see that. So yeah, things are looking up. It's been fairly good recently since too. I got a check coming up, so I'm gonna have to keep a record. The HDMI on my eldest daughter's PlayStation 5 stopped working. I think I mentioned this in a previous vlog. So we went on a search for a repair service. I found one in Cardiff at a good rate and decided to get the optical drive in my PlayStation 4 repaired at the same time. Arranged for a Wednesday pickup, which happened close to the expected time. And about midday on the same day, I got a call to say it had all been done and could be returned between 13:30 and 1400. It was, and everything cleaned up too with a 6-month warranty. So that was 60 quid for the PS5, 40 quid for the PS4 and £10 for the personal pickup and drop off. Local service, Cardiff based, so if you're in the area and need a repair, I can heartily recommend Adept PC Repair based in Llandaff. Best service I've had from any company in years. Single guy running it, but it's still a company. Yeah, on a lighter note, I've been shitposting again. Literally. Another bowl screening test and already had the results back. That was clear, and expect another test in 2 years. No, I've had a project in mind for a while. I've had this box for ages and a plan. I bought some small arcade buttons and a few Pico microcontroller boards, used some DB9 sockets I have lying around, and built an adapter to connect 2 Atari-style joysticks to any computer that supports USB human interface devices. It basically just shows up as another controller. Now, I've tested it with Robotron. It's not exactly ideal for Robotron, but that's not what it was for. Battlezone and Assault, which is the sort of thing it was for, because the latter of two, you need a fire button on the handle of the controller. And a couple of quick shot style joysticks, and it works a treat. A very niche adapter, to be sure, but another one to my add to collection of home-built niche adapters and controllers. And yeah, it was quite fun. Got a decent score on Battlezone as well. Got up to, I think, the 3rd level in Assault, which I've never done before on emulation. Okay. Anyway, you'd have thought I'd have learned by now, but no. I still buy stuff that needs more. I bought a Toslink digital audio switcher so I could use both Mister and PS4 through the audio mixer. Forgot to check, and it needs, of course, another Toslink cable, which I don't have. I should have realised this before I purchased. But given the way I've been feeling lately, it's no surprise I didn't really. Amazon wants £7 and can deliver next day. eBay though, £3. I just have to wait a few days. Well, I can be patient. Now for the shout outs to people who have been commenting on my videos in the last 3 weeks, since the last vlog. These are Delboy3K1, Colin Thompson, R2 the Cat, Sausage Rill, Liam, Lord of Dark, Man Cave Arcade, Caspis, and Dark Saurian 6410. Thank you for taking notice of this dumb face. Just to finish, as always, by acknowledging the conflicts happening in the world at the moment. There's a fragile ceasefire in the Middle East, finally, by negotiation. I hope it lasts, but the conflict in Ukraine continues. I hope what begins today isn't bad news for that one. As an atheist, I don't do prayers, but I do send my best hopes for a favourable outcome. Good luck to you. Now, that's it. That's it for this vlog. Thanks to everybody who finds this crap interesting. And until the next time, have a good one. Ta-ra for now.